Welcome, podcast listeners and viewers. You are here. It is me, Mr. BudgetPedalChap. You are also here with Lee, who is here for me, but he's probably somewhere else on your... Oh, he's that way, probably.
Yeah.
It is episode 194 of the Fret Talk podcast. We have given up counting how many live casts we have done a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, it's been quite a rushed one today. We don't have our usual relaxed intro atmosphere. We just need to kind of take a moment to get into our zen place. So there we go.
I've got raspberries. Do you want to see them? Look.
Wonderful. I mean that right. I mean, we're hitting that kind of ASMR market, definitely. Trying to edit out chewing on a podcast though is...
Don't worry, I won't eat anymore. They're for the kids. My kids, not just general kids. I'm not like one of them people with a van and stuff.
Kiddie snatcher. My God.
These are for the kids.
That's it. They bloody love them. It's like candy to a baby. Oh dear. We've took a dark turn already. Lee.
That's very, very quick, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's record time, that is. Lee, how are you, mate? We haven't had a chance to have our little kind of pre-game catch-up, have we? So we'll do it now.
No, we've kind of been doing a bit of...
We've been schmoozing, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been doing a bit of chat and bit of business, like for getting demos ready and stuff like that from clients and stuff like that. We haven't really sat down and gone, how the fuck are you?
And that's it. Too busy, always on the game. We've got not that game, my God. I mean, I suppose. We've got Mr. Bimson, ahoy hoy. Mr. Bimson, something that you said in the Pedal Boards of Doom group may or may not be appearing a little bit later on in the show, so you'll want to stick around.
I hope it will be, because I've already cropped it, edited it, and got it ready to come up.
That's what we like to hear. So
bear or something like that.
Yes, of course. So aside from the kind of the last minute little chats we've been doing, business chats, how am you, me mucker?
I'm all right, man. My main focus recently has been getting my house ready to sell it and stuff like this. So we've been having a lot of viewings through, which means, unfortunately, I've put most of my gear away. So, for those viewing, you'll see behind me, it doesn't quite look like it normally looks. And that's just due to a shit ton of flight cases containing a shit ton of pedals. I've can probably count on one hand the amount of pedals I've got out to hand. And they're like kind of like for utility stuff, just because either we're demoing them or the only pedal I've got out that I've actually got out for the sake of just playing it because it's fun is the Ultra Tap, because I've been having a lot of fun with that. It's crazy what it does, and I'm really loving it still. I've got my GT1000 core still out, but I've been using that as kind of like an amp.
Yeah.
To plug the Ultra Tap into, sort of thing. I've got an SD1 out, which I pulled out just to do some Timepedia work recently, just to do some testing. But I think that's about it. I've got my Les Paul beside me. I've got my Strat indoors, and that's it. Everything else is away.
It is quite sparse in comparison to what it has been.
Yeah.
The end of an era, isn't it? The old Tone Shed.
Yeah, Pedalboards of Doom HQ.
It is like OG HQ, like back when you used to have a sofa and you used to do those like YouTube chat things.
Yeah. When one of the first things we really started to try and do was live streams, but it was like, the comment, "Are you filming with a potato?" happened a couple of times. We had a guy who claimed to have worked on the Phantom Menace doing our video and sound, but he was deaf.
so we could do the video.
Yeah, really good at the video. He had these lights in here that were like the big professional lights, but they were so hot, and we would sit there, and he had two of them on us, and we would literally be melting. Well, no, hang on, I can't say literally be melting. I'm a moron, but it felt like we were melting. Yeah, so and he had like this really expensive sound equipment, and he was like telling me and this other guy who know about sound that we were wrong in what we were talking about, and the sound was all coming out and clipping and stuff. And it was like, God.
But I mean, we live and learn, don't we? We live and learn, and now here we are. Kind of, how many years into live casting now? Probably about 2, innit?
Us, yeah, a couple. Good evening, Nathan Tipton. How are you, sir? Yeah, we're a couple of years in, and it's really good. It's nice. It's like I've said so many times, it's just like hanging out with your mates. And it's nice seeing the people, when the people come on here and start talking with us, it is nice. I haven't been up to a tremendous amount gear-wise, though. Like I say, I've been playing with the Ultra Tap and doing some Tonepedia stuff I can't really talk about. But other than that, it's, it's just been really interesting. I'll tell you one thing. I have been working quite closely with a company called Analog Alien. We've spoken about them before. They're a great company based over in New York, and they've just decided to come on board with Tonepedia for everything. Minus one pedal, which is kind of a studio tool, as opposed to so you wouldn't be able to use it on Tonepedia anyway. But everything else is coming over on there, and they've got some wicked sounding stuff. Have you ever heard of them?
I must admit, no. They're not a company that I've heard anything aside from you're mentioning them. So, like, give us a bit of a rundown of what they do, because I'd be interested.
So, the pedal we released on there a few weeks ago, and they were so happy with it. They're like, okay, that's brilliant, do everything. Was the bucket seat, which is like a Marshall in a box.
Okay,
Marshall, MIB, because MIB is Will Smith and gang, isn't it? But the it's a really, really, really nice sounding one. The story behind them is they own Cloud9, I think it's called, Cloud9 Recording Studios, and they work with a lot of people. They've recently worked with Joan Jett, for instance. They do a lot of work with Joe Walsh, Stevie Wonder, big names. Joe Walsh is obviously one of the guitarists from the Eagles, and so they're really well connected. People were bringing in pedals and stuff on their boards and that, and they were having trouble with them.
Yeah.
Joe and Jack, they're brothers. They're your typical, not typical, but atypical sort of Italian New Yorkers. Hey, how you doing? That sort of thing. They're really, really cool. Like so cool. And they're lovely as well. Really, really friendly. They're brothers, and they look very, very much alike. Apart from Joe wears glasses more often than Jack doesn't. And that's how most people kind of tell them apart, I guess. But they're really good at electrical engineering. So people were saying, like, I've got this pedal, but it's not quite doing what I want it to do. So they kind of just went, I'll make one. And they made these pedals, but they made them in their own sort of way, and they made them really, really good. Mm-hmm. And everyone was like, oh, can I keep this? And these were like massive artists. Like, can I use this on stage and stuff like that? Like they told us this story, and they sent me a load of pictures about it as well for my mate Den, because Den's a huge Who fan. I've mentioned Den a few times. The guy who helped me build this, right? So he's a huge Who fan. I was telling him about him, and they were like, we did Pino. What's his name? Pino Padaldi. Is that how you say it?
What?
Pino.
Palladino, the bassist.
Palladino, yes, sorry, Palladino, yes, the Who's bassist. Sorry, I don't care, they're bass players. No, I'm joking. Right, but they gave him a rumble seat, or is it a bucket seat? One of the two. They've got one called bucket seat, one called rumble seat. And Pete Townsend turned around to their keyboard player and said, do you know what? You want one of them pedals for your keys. It will make it sound more like a like that John Lord sort of sound.
Mm-hmm.
So Pete Townsend said to their keyboard player, "You need one of their pedals," and then they actually like hand delivered it to him because they were gigging over in New York, and they got to go backstage and everything, and it's just loads and loads of photos of them backstage, and they're like, it's really funny because they were saying to me, it's all right with us going backstage because, like, you know, they know we're cool and we're not gonna go and start like acting all fangirl. Next thing, he sends me loads of pictures of like selfie with people in the background and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're so cool, Jack. But they are.
Any credibility there? Just
yeah.
Can't believe you forgot Pino Palladino's name, mate. Like he did the John Mayer trio as well. Like. He's an absolute...
Do you know what? I don't like John Mayer at all. I've got no time for that. So it's, you know, it's not like I dislike it. It's just nothing like what I want to be listening to. I'm not a mum, you know. So, yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
John has said in the comments, "Don't pros get everything for free anyway?"
Well, I think they probably did. Yeah. Because it was a case of they said that the. Pino turned around to him and said, "Jack, do you think you might be able to send one of these over to us, like really nicely?" And Jack just joked to me and went, "Well, no, of course I can't." You know, of course I'm going to get one. It's the fucking Who.
That's it.
And
I've heard of them.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I think they did. Anyway, look, they do that. They've got that pedal. They've got a compressor pedal. They've got a fuzz with a foot switchable buffer on and off, which is an interesting way of doing it. Then they've got a Joe Walsh special, which is called, I think, the double take. I'm not going to Google it because we've got a prohibition against Googling on the live stream. Otherwise, I'll bring it up right now. But they've got I think it's a rumble seat or one of their other drives with a compressor built into it. So it's like a combination of drive and compressor. They've got the rumble seat, which I think Ryan Burke, 60 Cycle Hum, did a really good demo of it as well. And it's got the bucket seat in it, which is the Marshall drive we spoke about. It's got a delay in it and it's got a reverb. So a lot of people would just be able to gig with that one pedal.
Yeah, seems quite versatile.
Yeah, really sounds really great. They're all really bright colours. All the logos on them are kind of like that sort of bubble. You know, when you touch it and it's like, it feels like it's a bubble. It actually sticks out a bit.
Oh, okay, like a real tactile-y kind of finish to it, like almost kind of
like a vinyl sticker.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I really highly rate them because these guys are sound engineers, and when sound engineers start making pedals, you know you're in for a treat. Indeed.
I mean, if your profession requires you to have like amazing detail in your hearing, then if you're creating a guitar pedal or a pedal for bass or a pedal for a keyboard even, you're going to bring that same kind of attention to detail to guitar audio, which doesn't always happen, shall we say.
Yeah. Do you remember we spoke about Greed Tone a little while back? And we've got something coming up very special with them at some point. Okay. Which we'll talk about soon, which I'm very, very excited about. Greg, who often pops up on the live stream, he also is a sound engineer, and he's the guy who's done the sound for the Foo Fighters and these sort of things. Do you remember?
What, the Foo Fighters? I vaguely recall them back in the 2000s, yeah.
No, do you remember we spoke about him, you prick? So, yeah, and yeah, his pedals sound absolutely fantastic as well. He's got a great set of ears.
Indeed. Lowell's popped up and he's first of all, he apologised for interrupting the live stream, but secondly, he's mentioning your delicious Superman curl that you are sporting at the moment.
Yeah, my hair's actually gone. I was begging my wife to cut it. I was begging her and begging her and begging her, and then it just went that little bit longer, and it's actually starting to look good. Like for ages, it was looking really crap, and now it's
wouldn't go that far, Lee. Wouldn't go. Busting balls.
I had a bit of a trim of my beard as well to bring it back into looking good without looking like I'm homeless or something.
That's my thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was.
But mate, I noticed how long it is getting today, and it's a bit unwieldy. But I'm gonna push through that barrier and see if we can get to kind of like fisherman or wizard length.
Yeah, you're gonna go through that period that I've just gone through with my hair, and then it will grow a little bit longer, and you'll be like, yeah, that's it.
That's the sweet spot right there. Well, I suppose I should probably go on about some of the stuff that I've done this week, shouldn't I? Just to kind of round us.
Can we talk about Star Trek and Star Wars for a little bit?
oh yes. Yeah. Our good friend Mr. Matt Quine has been catching up on the podcasts recently, obviously, because in the Fret Talk podcast only today, weren't it? He posted about us going on about Star Trek and Star Wars, and then called us out for being massive nerds. Yep. And to be fair, he answered one of the questions as well, like the one about delay that we did a couple of weeks ago. And he said, again, the M5 with programmable variants of the delay. Spot on. Again.
Yeah, because we only focused it on for the modulation, really, didn't we?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we went for the delay. But we went for the flashback, which is an excellent choice. But the M5 is also a very excellent choice, and you probably get it cheaper as well. Yeah. So there you go.
It's a good shout.
Luscious is
I don't know why I had to say that twice.
Luscious. Our Lel is telling us. I don't know if he's referring to your Superman curl, or if he's referring to this.
He's just talking about the pair of us. He know. We know.
Luscious.
Yeah. Hello, Luscious.
You all right,
You'll
Lel?
be lush and I'll be osh.
Osh. Okay. So this week, what I have been doing. To be fair, I've been a busy boy this week. Been a busy boy. I got to a recording of another one of these iSet pedals. I think I might have it here. It is exactly this one, which I believe is very similar to a certain other Chinese brand's Powerful Lady based flanger.
Oh, it's an elect lady.
There's any subtlety, it's just flown out. So it's very very similar, I believe, to that, and it has towards the subtle ends of it. You get some of those really kind of warbly tape modulation sounds, and then you can get some absolutely sea-sickening swirliness as well. If you push it right to the edges, you get cray cray.
A lot of people say the elect lady is absolutely fantastic. Was this good?
Yeah, it was really good. Really good. So it's the controls are very similar, but they're not marked the same. I think with the elect lady, it's got the I think they call it the E lady now, actually, because I think they may have gotten a little bit in trouble for it being a little bit too close. So they just rebranded it a bit, but it had like filter and then not, whereas this has got like hard and soft mode.
Which electro harmonics kind of dish out what is it?
CCDs.
Yeah, cease and desists, like they're going out of fashion. It's like, yeah, you can have one, and you can have one, and you can have one. We'll get one just for mentioning it.
I mean, allegedly, one of the pitch-based Chinese pedals, and I'm not going to go into any more detail for the sake of being legally ambiguous. But they noticed that the coding within this pedal had retained some of the earmarks left in there from Electro Harmonics. So it had EHX branding inside the coding.
Yeah.
So
hang on, the Electric Lady doesn't have any coding on it.
No. This was
Electric Mistress. Sorry.
Yes, this was a DSP based pitch pedal.
Oh, so someone copied the pitchfork basically, and they called it whatever, the pitch bitch or whatever. And that's a great one.
The pitch bitch.
Yeah.
There you go, Lee. If you know how to press Control C and Control V on some coding, then you too can potentially be hit by a cease and desist.
I just want my cease and desist. That's the only reason I did it.
That's it. The pitch bitch.
Nice.
Oh my god. So yeah, the swinging it back onto the flanger it's really good. I much preferred it in the more subtle modes because it's that kind of tape warbliness, the kind of like the edge of where a tape would be kind of almost going out of tune. You can get that kind of sweet spot. But then you take it to the other end and it gets crazy.
Take it to the limit.
Yeah. This control in particular will absolutely fuck you over. Is the color control, which but I believe that is it's a feedback knob, so it's the one that adds the signal back in through the pedal. And if you crank it all the way up, you literally just get
oscillation.
Which fantastic. But you can kind of
is there a manual control on there?
I assume that's what this color control is, because manual and feedback are essentially the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's that. But you can if you dial it back a bit, you can dial in the amount of metallic overtone that you get with it. And again, you can get almost kind of 12-stringy overtones with it, which I was really digging. And again, we plugged it through a drive-in amp and then channeled some of the 80s rock tones. So it was in. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
The micro pitch got really good 12-string sounds. Do you remember that? Yes, yeah. That sounded fantastic because it detunes it ever so slightly in both directions, and it really gave it that 12-string sort of
the width.
Yeah, for sure. I've never heard anything that sounds so authentically like a 12-string.
Wow,
other than a 12-string,
the Variax doesn't do too badly.
Well, I've never tried a Variax, so that's something I've not played.
You need to alter that because the Variax is a very, very good. It's one of the best Vaxes that there are about. What am I doing with my life? What's going on?
Oh dear.
But yeah, honestly, I would suggest to anyone try it. I know Stuart often absolutely bags on the Variax, but he was one of the first to admit when I did this Stomp v Stomp versus the acoustic simulator. He went, actually, the acoustic modelling on that Variax is shit hot. So I am here to eat my words.
Yeah, it did. It sounded so much better than the Stomp, than the HX Stomp.
Yeah,
massively better.
In the HX Stomp's defense, it is accurately modelling the AC2, which did not do an acoustic sound particularly well. Yeah,
so I've been. This is actually something I did do, and I forgot all about it. I was one of my friends bought a set of Wazares the other day, and he was asking me about them, and it just got my attention. I was like, I'm going to start playing. I went on there, and I happened to be on an acoustic setting that I set up, and I was like, oh god, this sounds terrible. And And it just happened that I had my guitar all set up wrong, because unless you turn like the tone right down and you're on the neck pickup and this, that, and the other, it sounds shite. But once you do like just take your tone pretty much all the way down, drop a bit of the volume off, have it on the neck pickup, obviously, like I said, at that point it starts sounding like a nylon string guitar. And I was playing it for ages with a nice little subtle delay on it. I just sat there just playing it for ages, and I like to play with a bit of distortion and stuff.
Indeed.
Oh, there is something else I did actually. This morning, I had our morning meeting with Tonepedia, and I sat there and I looked at the computer screen, and I thought, do you know what? I need to give myself a kick up the arse. I've had 2 coffees already and I just wasn't feeling it. So I got up, I turned my Marshall up to about 4 on the master, and whacked the gain almost all the way up. Stuck my earbuds in first because I had to. And, it was so nice to actually feel some like air moving, and I was getting like loads of feedback from my guitar, and I was like loving it. I was like, yeah, it felt like I was playing with a sustain. I was just like getting all that feedback. It was just absolutely glorious just to play with a bit of volume.
I mean, it's funny you were mentioning that. Actually, I was on the phone to my good friend and the guy behind Chef Tone Effects, Mr. Yeomans, the other day, and I was talking about how I miss the experience of running through an amp pushing air. So I have a feeling over the next month or so, me and him are gonna just book out a practice room, turn up some amps, and absolutely rip it. Because as much as the Stomp is good as a practice tool, it's really good for recording. It scratches those itches when you think about what you're missing. It's still not quite 100% there, and there is no substitute. No matter how good these modelers become, there is absolutely no substitute for just turning an amplifier up.
I might invent a fan that just blows gentle amounts of air at you when you connect to your Wazzer ears, and a Sustainiac that works in like just as it should,
like a USB plug in to like your audio workstation or something, and it triggers based on the audio. That'd be quite good, actually.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that thing? We've got a video, right? Just for the viewers and the listeners. So when we were at a guitar show at one point, there was this pad that you could stand on for bass players, and it had an actuator or a speaker in it, one of the two.
Yeah.
And when you played the bass, you could play low, but what it did is it vibrated the pad that you were stood on to make you feel like you were actually playing really loud. And when you stood on it, it basically shook your very being, and you could hear the resonance through it. So it sounded so much louder when you were stood on it. That's what we want, something like that.
Yeah, for guitar. Yeah, to be fair, it was the Ike board, wasn't it? And they were really cool.
And it's one of our best performing videos that we've ever done. Maybe we're putting really funny faces in it or something. There's probably a forum on Reddit somewhere or something that we're really popular on.
No doubt there is some subreddit in the corner of the internet just absolutely ripping the piss out of our reactions. But yeah, so I did a video on the flanger. The Stomp v Stomp for the not HM2, the MT2 kind of clone by Behringer finally came out this week. It's been like up for premiere about 3 or 4 weeks on the trot, and it's been like, you can have it. Nope, no, you can't. No, you can have it. You can no. And now it's finally been released. So that was just a massive
relief.
It was like a massive build up.
Was it a massive release though? If it was a massive build up, was it a massive release?
I've not checked the numbers, to be honest. I've just let it do its thing.
I was being rude. But yes.
Me. That's it. So that came out, and I did actually have a listen back because I recorded it maybe about a month ago, and they don't sound the same at all. There are differences, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Like, neither one is what I'd call terrible. And I'm not usually a metal tone kind of guy. But I thought they performed pretty well.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been too busy. I'll definitely try and give it a watch tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely worth doing it. And if you out there, listener, yes, you, if you are going to watch that video, just drop a comment down in the comment section below, because the comments appear in the next videos as well. So if your comments are good, it will appear in the next video. That's what I like to see. So
John Woodham has said low volume clean boost and an attenuator. What's he talking about? Can you clarify that? Because I'm a little bit confused as to what. Because obviously there's a bit of a delay, so that it was probably something we were talking about a minute ago. And because we're old and senile, we've forgotten.
Well, it'll be the kind of low volume, playing at home, but also getting the feeling of a pushed amp, I assume.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not so much the... Sorry, John, I'm confused. It's not so much the sounds of a pushed amp, it's the feeling of the air moving. It's the feeling of the room rumbling and stuff like that, you know. It's things you can't get through a Wazza Air or something like that, you know.
Yeah, the visceral experience of... It's almost kind of going back to caveman mindset, isn't it? This thing is loud and loud is good. So...
Yeah.
Amp in the sweet spot, low volume. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I can get sweet spots with amps kind of just tickling the volume. I find, like we mentioned earlier, actually, a drive pedal with a compressor tends to do that, because you get the sustain that you would if the amp was naturally compressing. If you just you've got like the level on your compressor just where it's affecting if you dig in, and you get that kind of same feel that you do, or not the same but similar enough that you get the feel of a pushed amp.
Spoilers for you. Tomorrow, the newsletter coming out from Tonepedia, which is something that I write, is going to be a compressor special. And it's going to be about ways that you can use compressors that give you kind of like pro guitarist results.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not going to be something that's for the experienced guitarist, but it's going to be something for people who kind of look at compressors and think I know what they do, but not 100% sure. So yeah, if you haven't signed up to the newsletter and you want to read like weird ramblings that come out of my head once a week, go over to Tonepedia and sign up to it. It's pretty good, to be fair.
We've just got Bimpson in the chat, essentially backing our point and saying it far more eloquently than I actually did, saying guitars just react differently at volume. They come alive, and it is that, isn't it? It's that experience of those kind of elements where the Venn diagram meets of like loud guitar and just sweet spot.
The guitars do sound differently because the strings react to. It's like a feedback. It is feedback. It's just different levels of it, and the guitar, the whole resonance of the guitar is vibrating and therefore causing it to sound different. It's just absolutely godlike. It really is.
Amen. One final thing. I didn't even intend that. One final thing that I did this week, which will be out on Monday, which is the same time as this podcast. No, this one's out in a week's time. So this will be out by the time this airs as a podcast. I did the demo. On the pick. On this pick.
Cool. Well done, mate.
Well, yeah, I found a little bit of extra time because I did the I did the demo on the flanger on the Monday, which meant that my Tuesday, which I usually do recording of the No Talk All Tone, was free. So I used the Tiny Toddy as a preamp, as I usually do, but I used the V2 this time, which Simon very kindly sent me through, which is higher headroom, a bit more dynamic-ness, and it's a very good pedal, which is why I can run it as a preamp, not into any amp modelling, just into an IR, and it sounds fantastic.
Fantastic, that's really cool.
So I did that with the coconut pick, and I've also recorded the I've not got it around. It's probably underneath the laptop actually. An Ultem pick, which is so I've been told this week. Ultex is the Jim Dunlop trademark for the material Ultem. So I've got an Ultem pick. I've also got some Jim Dunlop Ultex picks. Lee? Are you there, Lee?
I'm having a stroke because you're talking about guitar picks again.
I am. Have you ever tried Ultex or Ultem?
I'm trying a stroke. No, I haven't.
It's quite a almost feels kind of glass-like because it's really, really tough and it's quite a brittle sound. I would suggest it.
Okay, put a thumbs up on the screen if you want to hear Mr. Budget Pedal Chap keep talking about picks. Because we get lots of thumbs up. Let's carry on with it.
Would you look at that? There's quite a few. Popping up.
There's nothing.
There's quite a few.
There's nothing.
I know there's definitely some because I'm putting some on there.
Really? None of them popped up on my screen. That's odd. Okay.
Anyway, so we've got some pedal boards, opinions, and news to get through this week, haven't we?
Okay, right. So I didn't name these. Should we just go with them in the order that I've got them on?
Yeah. Let's go sequentially. Go on, you shoot the questions at us, Lee. So, who's our first question from?
First one, it's Mike Falco. It says, tell me something you found out the hard way or wish you knew a long time ago, rig or guitar related, of course.
Okay, so something we found out the hard way. So, found out the hard way is an easy one, is that you don't need 100-watt amplifiers. You don't need a 412 cab to be gigging. It's something that you do not need. For most venues that I would be playing, like the local pub gig or a little rock club or whatever, 100-watt is overkill. It will also sound like crap because you can only get it up to like 1.5 on your volume before the sound engineer says we are no bueno. So yeah. you do not need 100-watt of amplification. I'll say that
level we're at, you can't use 100 watts because the only way to get it sounding good is to have it so it's cooking, and you cannot play it at that level.
Yeah, I mean, John's mentioned in the chat, referring to what we were talking about earlier, saying like a good attenuator with an amp at 6 and a clean boost kicked in can sound pretty convincing. And you could do that kind of thing for a venue, by all means. Save yourself a bit of cash, buy the 20-watt combo version, and then actually just crank it.
I'd still probably take a tuba 12. In fact, when I'm gigging again, I will take either two tuba 12s and a womba 12, and run a wet dry wet, or I will take 3 womba 12s.
I've got to give a high five to Lowell in the comments. Sorry, he's just said what he learned was metal zones are not the best.
He's wrong.
Holy shit! Like, yes,
we have a video out there of Lowell demoing I think it's a TS9, and it's actually a metal zone turned right down, and It's only like a minute long, and at the end he goes, "You've been metal zoned." It's so funny.
He did.
It's really good. What did I learn the hard way? I guess that digital pedals are basically there. I didn't want to admit it. It was like I took the opportunity to like play a couple of years ago, and to be fair, they sounded shit. And I was just like, oh, no, they're not there. And then like about a year ago, I kind of opened myself up to like trying them again, and if you do a direct A/B comparison with some of them, they will not sound as good. But what they're doing is not bad. In fact, what they're doing is fantastic. And the way they're implemented now, like the DD500 is amazing. It's like the best delay pedal I've ever used. It is so amazing. There's so much flexibility on there. It's just, you just cannot beat it. John's put Strymon in there. Strymon pedals, people are using them all over the world. I've not really fallen in love with the Strymon pedals because they don't have the flexibility and the the controllability, let's say, of the Boss ones. But the Boss ones, yeah, for sure. And then you get like the Eventide pedals that we've been playing with recently. I've never heard anything like it. They're doing sounds that are really, you can't do. You just can't do it with analog.
Without it.
Yeah, it needs to be digital, and the Eventide stuff is killing it. The Boss GT1000 is so powerful, it's so good. And then you got the things like this Quad Cortex from Neural DSP. Was it Neural? I think it was. And it's just like people are saying it's so amazing. The Kemper was really good, but I never thought the Kemper properly sounded right.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's this whole idea of like capturing a moment in time, and then like you start adjusting the controls, and it makes it all go weird, and then you can never get it back to that moment in time again. So Nathan Tipton said he found out the hard way that you should really consider how heavy a bass amp is and how much of a pain it will be to move before buying. Oh my god!
I remember
so
that massive bass amp he bought. Yeah,
my friends used to live on the third floor of the top floor of these flats, and every time they were gigging, they were two brothers, and they would always take their 4x12s and their Marshall heads out, and there was no lift, so it was always like helping them up and down, and they were big old concrete stairs as well. God, they hurt. Yeah,
I mean, generally, just be sensible with the proportions of the things you bring in. If you're playing to a capacity of like 500 or less, you aren't gonna need an amp that can do a festival. You just don't need it. I'm gonna swing through to the final part of that question. So something, if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be? Because I think the gear regret is slightly different than what I would tell my younger self. I think I would probably I'd tell myself not to sell my Dan Electro, because that was a stupid choice. I sold it for I think 90 quid or something like that, and I've longed for one ever since. But I think I'd tell myself to thin down my collection by only getting like guitars that I will use day in, day out. Because I've got a rack of guitars and I like them enough that I won't get rid of them. Largely because like the cost I will like the return that I'll get on them is nowhere near what I've put into them. And I like them enough versus how much I'd lose on them. So I think I'd say be smarter with your gear choices. I'd also tell myself never, just don't buy the Line 6 Spider valve.
I had so much fun with them. They were so much fun. I tell myself to learn recording techniques, like to learn how to record and get good enough at playing your guitar properly, so you can play it the same each time, and these sort of things, so you can double track and that sort of thing easier. Because that's a lesson that I'm still trying to learn. I wish I'd learned that when I was younger.
I think I'd also tell myself, while you've got chance, practice the fucking guitar. Don't just noodle for hours and hours on end. Do some serious practice. If you're just hitting into your 20s, you've got plenty of time on your hands. You've got no responsibilities. You don't really have a great deal of fucking money, so you're not going to be going out and enjoying life all that much. Sit there and just really get stuck into guitar.
Yeah. Right, let's go on to the next question, because we've got loads of questions and not a lot of time. So, next one is, what's the cheapest non-Chinese made pedal which will never leave your board? No tuners or multi-effects units. Edit. Nothing is wrong with Chinese models. Quit being triggered, babies. It was just a question. Right, so let's ignore that bit.
We can get like how that question got perceived in the group just by that. So I'm going to caveat this. I'm going to take the fact that he's mentioned Chinese pedals as like the cheap Chinese companies, like the Joyo, the Moog, those kind of companies, because largely a lot of pedals are made in China.
Well, the PCBs aren't they?
Yeah. So like I could mention like a TC pedal. I've got no doubt like TC stuff. You don't think of it as a Chinese company, but it will be.
It is. It's Behringer, isn't it? Are Behringer Japanese or Chinese?
Behringer are a German company, but all of their manufacture is over in China.
It's World Music Company, isn't it? I thought World Music Company was Chinese. I'm not going to Google it.
So I'm gonna take that caveat is that the origin of the company will be where I'm aiming towards. So I'm not going to bother with going into it in such detail that it has to be made in that country or whatnot. I'm going to go with the Mojo. I find it on every board that I go for. It's probably a Chinese-made pedal, but TC largely Danish.
TC are Danish. No, TC are Danish.
Well, there you go.
Oh, do you know what? I had a chat with one of the owners of T-Rex today.
Get it on.
Really, oh God, I love T-Rex, the band. My uncle is like the most hugest Mark Bolan fan in the world. He's like part of the Mark Bolan fan club. Like, I'm not even kidding. So yeah, it's down, back, down.
Indeed.
I was forced to learn that as one of my first songs because I knew if I didn't, my uncle would never forgive me.
To be fair, it's a tune.
Yeah, man. That is a rocker and a half. You know, Mark Bolan with his Les Paul and his Marshall. Like, yeah. Did he play Marshall? I think he did. Must do. He had a Les Paul in the 70s. Must have had a Marshall.
Go on. What's your go-to pedal that is not a Chinese one?
Like that Chibson you own, Lee. I haven't got a Chibson. Lowell just said the first riff he learned was Aqualung. Now, funny story about that. That was on a Family Guy episode recently. My daughter heard it, and every time she sees something, she's like, "There's a sheep in that field." And stuff like that, because that's what they were doing. So we've had this ongoing game of ding, 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 ding. I'm singing on the telly and stuff like that. Oh dear.
Good job.
Great fun, man. Taught my daughter Aqualung, and she's like 4 in 2021.
Indeed. Bloody old, yeah. Yes. Go on, what pedal, Lee? What pedal?
let's say, just because I can't look at my pedal board right now because it's locked up, let's go for a CE2 because it's one of the best pedals in the world, or carbon copy. One of them two.
Cool. I mean, I was going to go for the Joyo analog delay because, again, I find that on every board, but I was like, oh, shit, that's a Chinese one. But it's based on the carbon copy, so allegedly it's based on the carbon copy. But yeah, like Mojo finds its way onto every board I have, so
okay,
you can't turn it down, can you? Right, next one, let's go.
Jesse, that's an interesting name. Do you think she's a superhero? Kind of pedal related. What do you gurus think the best laptop for home recording would be? I've been researching for a while and I still don't have a clue.
Yeah, so I wanted to add this one in because it kind of goes hand in hand with home guitarists these days. Is a bit of home recording. So rather than saying like, oh, you've got to go for this specific laptop, I'd mention specs that you will probably need. So I'd say a minimum of 16 gig of RAM is a safe bet.
Yeah, let's say DDR3 and above though. I would probably say go for DDR4 to 5. If really in an ideal world.
If you could spring to that, yeah, definitely. DDR4, 16 gig or above. I mean, if you can get into like 32 gig, you're gonna be a lot more comfortable. I think the laptop that I record the podcast on is 8 gig of RAM, and it honestly struggles. It's okay for like multi-channel, very very simple like voice recording and some very basic kind of programming and like guitar demo recording. But anything above that, like any serious tracks that you want to get done, it struggles.
Can I come in on this? Because I spend more time than I choose to with professional sound engineers. And they're all using Macs. All of them, every single one of them. And to the point where they're like, Lee, get a Mac. We will send you a Mac Mini. It's like, I don't want one. I've got a really powerful PC. Like, just get a Mac. So, look, I wouldn't normally advise people that, but this is what the professionals are advising me. So, yeah. I'm of the mind of listen to scientists and don't ignore them like a muppet thinking you know better. These guys are our music scientists, I guess.
Yes, yeah. The thing with Macs and the things that will always be with Macs, they are extremely cost prohibitive. And your kind of entry level MacBook, you're talking kind of 700-800 quid. Where if you're spending that money on the PC equivalent, you are getting a much more suitable machine, essentially.
Yeah, I agree. But this is what they're saying, and the Mac Minis are pretty reasonable, to be honest. Yes, you got to get a screen and so on and so forth, but the Mac Minis are tiny.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they are.
Can't mod them anymore though.
No, not at all. And you are bent over the barrel of the Mac corporation for any upgrades or any repairs. You are tethered to that. Whereas PC stuff is a lot more free and easy to upgrade.
Yeah, I've always been a Windows guy.
Yeah,
but this is, and I'm very much on board with you there. However, that's what I'm being told.
Yeah, completely. So if you think you can financially deal with the blow, then yes. And to be honest, before I before I got this laptop that I'm recording on, I had a MacBook, and I never had any problems with, like, because I was running GarageBand on it, but I had multiple like multi-track recording on it, and it never struggled. It manages resources really, really well. Much better than a PC would if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah. So if you can do that, and you want kind of ease of use of a more plug and play experience for it, a Mac would be your route.
I'd like to, just before we close up, because we're about at time, I'd like to go through the comments, because people have had quite a bit to say. One sec, let me just pop this open, and then it's having a funny minute. This is right.
So I'll do a bit of reading from our thingy. So so we've got Lowell's mentioning the whammy one. So it says any laptop with a decent amount of RAM, but then he carries on to say that he's a Mac guy and he used his 2008 MacBook for 9 years straight. So like longevity, yes, that is you're getting a decent deal there, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that's really, really good. John's gone ahead and said universal audio plugins are a computer's best friend. One of the only things we've ever done in terms of a plug-in pedal, in fact, it might be the only plug-in pedal we've ever done on Tamepedia, was one of the universal audio plug-in pedals, which I think is a Tube Screamer, and they loved it. It sounds really, really good. Go on to Tamepedia, check it out. So we've got like 1 million Tube Screamers on there. It's very hard to write a different description for each one of them. I'm not allowed to just copy and paste.
Subtle mid-hump.
Yeah. I tend to write quite an interesting story about each pedal, especially vintage stuff. But yeah, it's like, how many fucking Tube Screamers does a man need? The universal audio plugins are fantastic, and that was one of my favorites. John, I'm really confused what you mean by Gibson. I don't own a Gibson. This is a proper Gibson. It's signed, my friend. People talking about things that they've sold.
Indeed.
So Andrew Bimson sold a Selmer treble and bass Marshall 4x12 and a Marshall 4x12. Selmer amps don't come around very often. Christ, they're worth their weight in gold. Dan Electro is one of Lowell's favourite gear companies.
Indeed. Use the appropriate amount of... So all the Tube Screamers is the appropriate amounts of Tube Screamers. Which I agree with. We've actually got a question about Tube Screamers or Tube Screamer variants.
Have we? Let me go through and have a look. Let's just pop them up. And no. Oh, look. Let's talk about this quickly. Mr. Doug Chris, one of our patronisers. Congratulations, mate. You're probably going to be listening this back on the podcast, and we just want to say congratulations because he's going to be a granddad.
Yeah, he's like soon to be Gramps, which hats off to you, chap. Hats off to you.
And his pedal company is Fat Guy Little Jacket, isn't it? No, 37 Effects. No, that's the name. That's the name of the pedal, isn't it?
It is Fat Guy Little Coat.
Yeah.
And he's soon to come out with the Tombstone Treble Booster as well, which is in a kind of tombstone, kind of wedge-shaped enclosure.
Nice.
Looks rather nice. All
right, let's go through these. Just trying to find the Tube Screamer one. Would it be redundant or foolish to have a Plumes and a Nobles DDR on the same board? I have the Plumes and have been looking for another drive. I would go for the Plumes over the DDR because the DDR isn't... No, it's ODR, isn't it?
Yeah. ODR.
Yeah,
ODR.
It's just the way it looks up here. The Plumes is a lovely pedal. Earthquake can make great pedals, and I've heard more people saying good things about the plumes than I have about the nobles. What do you think, mate?
Why not have both? I've run 2 Tube Screamer setups before, and it's glorious. It's glorious.
I put a rat on there instead. Like, save a space, get rid of one of them, and put a rat on there instead. You'll be happier, and then you won't ever need get a clone. They're better than bloody Tube Screamers.
Let's cast our minds back, shall we? Let's cast our minds back about
look, it's
about
been
a month
lovely
or
to
so
see
ago.
you all. Thank you very, very much.
So Lee, just as a quick one, what pedal won the pedal World Cup that we were doing a month or so back? What was it? What was that?
It was a cheater pedal. It was a pedal that didn't actually get through one of the rounds. There was a draw, and then somebody made up a lie about it getting through, and then it cheated its way to the end. So the real winner after an adjudicator's decision was the MXR Blue Box, and well done to the MXR Blue Box. Whoa! Can you hear all them people clap? That's not me clapping.
Tell you what I can do. I can smell the bullshit. I think you'll find, Lee, it was a Tube Screamer that won that event fair and square.
Oh, yeah, because it was a boomer competition. I don't think there was a single digital pedal in that.
There we go, with Lee alienating a good quarter, maybe even a third of our listenership. Just be aware that Lee's horrible comments are not shared by the Fret Talk podcast here. We absolutely love you all. I think that's the end of our what we call it, pedal boards, opinions, news, isn't it? And it's a good place to kind of wrap the podcast up as well, isn't it? Like a nice heartwarming story of our Doug becoming a Gramps. It's a nice one to end on.
Should we buy him a blue box to celebrate?
No, we don't want to do that to him. I was listening to his podcast actually today, and because he's on the Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and a couple of months ago they did the film Idiocracy, which I'd never seen before, and that appeared on Disney Plus last week, so I ended up watching that. And this week's one was No Country for Old Men.
Oh, I saw that a while back, maybe about 10, 15 years ago.
Yes, yeah. It's relatively kind of weathered by this point. It's not a new flick, but I've always kind of seen clips of it on TV and like adverts for it, and just thought that is not for me. No, thank you. But then hearing these guys go through the plot and the intricacies of this film, it's making me want to watch it. So I think the next on my film to watch list is going to be No Country for Old Men, and I will report back. And I'm just going to give you a shout out here for your podcast, because it's inspiring me to watch movies that I would not have given two shits about.
Can I give you something else to watch? That was I saw a couple of days ago, which is only a short YouTube video, but it was I think it was like 10 things you didn't know about Back to the Future, and it was quite interesting. Such as I think the one that was probably the most well known, but it was the most interesting. You know, there was a guy who played Marty McFly before whatever his name was. It went in and out of my head then.
Go on, what's his name?
I just keep thinking of him as Marty McFly, but and I'm picturing him in the other film that he did with the ghost film.
Not Doc Hollywood, or when he did a cameo in Scrubs, or no?
Dude with the Parkinson's. Oh man.
Fuck me.
Oh dear. Anyway, there was another guy who was playing Marty McFly. And yeah, Michael J. Fox. Yes, thank you, lol. God, that was so difficult. You know when something goes right out of your head? It's always when we're live casting as well, and I can normally just nail these facts, but when we're live casting, I'm like, yeah, this is the time that I don't need to know it. when I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Just words escaped, didn't they?
So annoying. Anyway, there was another guy who played it, and he recorded like half the film. And then there was, because he was doing something else, they said to him, "Oh no, we don't want you playing it anymore," or something along those lines. But it's still something that there's a scene where they didn't edit him out, and it's the bit where he hits the other chap in the diner, and like you actually see him on there. But there's loads of other bits and pieces that were like that were on purpose in there as well. Which is really, really quite interesting.
You know where I've heard that fact before?
Masters of the Cinematic Universe?
Masters of the Cinematic Universe, yeah.
No, I've not listened to their podcast yet. I do want to, but I've not.
Yeah, when they did Back to the Future, they went through like the whole story in a less bumbling way. I mean, they remembered Michael J. Fox's name for a start, but they go through the entire. And like I say, like Masters of Cinematic Universe is really great for those little bits of like movie trivia, because they put a load of research into it, and they are like massive into movies. So I get some absolute like major enjoyment from like on my commute listening to these and thinking like, shit, yeah, I remember that from that film, and I did not clock. So it's very inspiring, makes you want to watch movies, and that's hopefully what we do with people about playing and buying and enjoying pedals.
Let me ask you something, Ray, because I'm wondering if they watched the same video as I did for their research. So there was this old like 1920s, 1930s movie with someone like Charlie Chaplin, but it wasn't him, and he's up a building on a clock tower holding onto a clock, and he falls and falls down, and he's holding the clock, the big hand of the clock, just like Doc does at the end of Back to the Future. And right at the beginning of when they go into the Doc's studio, if you like, his laboratory,
where
he's
lab,
all the clocks. There's a clock on there in the background that has it's the clock from that movie that has the guy hanging from it, just like Doc does at the end. Harold Lloyd, John's just come in on it. Harold Lloyd, yeah, and obviously he's no relation to what's his name, whatever Lloyd,
Doc. Go on.
Oh, I can't remember. Don't ask me these things.
Christopher
Lloyd, yeah, who was also in.
He was in Back to the Future too. I know that much.
What was
he
that?
Might also.
Wasn't he in a Hulk Hogan movie as well in the 90s, where Hulk Hogan played a.
Oh, like Mr. Nanny or
something Thunder. No, do you remember the one where Hulk Hogan played an alien and he crash lands and it was terrible.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I remember that film. Oh.
Do you remember the one? Was it Hulk Hogan who was in that film? So I've just realised we've still got that question up about the plumes. Wasn't he in that a TV series where it was called Thunder in Paradise, and it was like Knight Rider but on a boat?
That was also a thing, yeah.
Oh God.
The 80s and early 90s were a crazy time. We were wrapping up a podcast, however, and not talking about flicks. So yeah,
Suburban Commando.
Suburban.
Yes, that was the one.
Right, I'm gonna wrap this one. I'm gonna give a shout out to our Patreon backers, who we've given a few already, some kind of subtle shout outs, but we're gonna give the officials now. And for as little as $2 a month, you can be part of these cool kids. So we have got Mr. Andrew Bimson, we have got Mr. Adam Yeomans of Chef Tone Effects, we have got Mr. Doug Christ of 37 Effects, and the Masters of the Cinematic Universe. He also does another podcast, but I've not listened to that one yet, so I can't possibly comment. We have got, so that's 3. We've got 6 to do, haven't we? We've got Mr. Huge Erection. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. We have got Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups. I I'm going to mention a little bit something about Mr. Ben Fletcher of Fletcher Pickups in just a moment, and Mr. Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast. You need to check out my Instagram. It's given a little sneaky about a competition giveaway, which is going to be happening at the start of next month. And the details will go live pretty soonish. So you need to check out my Instagram for the info on that. And then you need to be subscribed to Fletcher Pickups on Insta and on Facebook, because I think that's where the official thing is going to be happening. It's a big one. It's a big competition. So keep your eyes peeled. If you want to catch me online, it is Mr. BudgetPedalChap at Facebook.com/BudgetPedalChap. It is Instagram.com/BudgetPedalChap. And it is YouTube.com/BudgetPedalChap. And YouTube is the home to the No Talk All Tone series. And it is also the home to the Pickpocket series as well, which I might be migrating over to Instagram, maybe. Who knows? Lee, you are Mr. Padabadababadababadoo, aren't you? Do you want to give some shout outs to your stuff?
Yeah, so I obviously run the pedal boards of Doom webs. Yes, we've got the web store where you can go and buy a shit ton of pedals, mainly focusing on the boutique stuff. We've obviously got the Facebook group, which is where you are right now if you're viewing. Hello to you. Give us a thumbs up in the whatever. And
that lost steam pretty quickly, didn't it?
This is what I'm talking about. You're doing this and you kind of forget how to talk. It's so weird. We've got YouTube, we've got Instagram, we've got a great YouTube channel. Let's not just skin over it. We've got Mr. Budget Pedal Chap there doing Stomp versus Stomp. We've got Mr. Lowell, George Granef, who does whatever it is he does. It's undescribable.
Does it even?
Does it even? Yes, does it even describe? And we've got myself doing the news and the occasional demo on there as well. More demos coming your way. Yeah. Then we have Tonepedia as well, which we mentioned quite a bit today, which is your interactive home where you can go and try out the latest pedals and vintage pedals and pedals which people feel like they should send us. We do that, and we work very, very hard at that, so go and give it some love. We've got a Facebook page. We've got Lowell doing a bit of the news from time to time, as he's just dropped in the comments there. You know, we don't want to miss that out. Thank you so much for your help, man. And have I missed anything? I feel like I have.
No, I think that's about it. Maybe. If you've missed something, just record a little bit of audio for it and I'll plonk it on at the end of the podcast. It'll be fine. No one will notice.
Cool.
Right, so from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. From Mr. Lee, it will be a tatty bye. Good night for this week. Ta-ra a bit.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. Toodle pip. Jokes about white sugar are rare. Jokes about brown sugar, them are rarer.
That's a good one.